Hello, it's a lovely morning to you and for us inside the studio. My name is Elizabeth and the show is Conversations. Are you smiling the way I'm smiling? We should always wear a smile no matter what happens, because that is actually what gives you that leap, to positivity in life. It starts first with your smile. How are you today? Today is a special day because we have decided to go back to what we know ourselves to be. Remove all the men in the house and just have my lovely sisters with me. And so I have to my right and to my left my sister Ruth and my sister Lola, that I like to call Lola.
I hear you.
They're managing everything. We're changing everything. So we're changing Lola to Lola as well.
I hear you.
Okay, so talking about
Right.
management, today we'll be talking managing resources. For a while, Nigerians have been crying. For a while, Nigerians have been saying all manner of things. Social media is awash with a whole lot. And we're not saying it's that easy, but I also know that if we do one or two mathematics, plus, minus, division, addition, whatever it is, we can actually get to live more comfortably. Let's get to, have this conversation to its fullest, but that will be after this time out. Don't go away.
When there's a child out there that's not getting the same that your own child is getting, the difference will tell, and there will come a time in the society where that child is going to take its pound of flesh.
Where you can actually, everything from watching a program with the child, you can start up the conversation from something on the TV and say, oh,
For me, it's like, hurry up with this business. And the other one said, Auntie, it's not about me, it's about the guys. They're not ready to marry.
Yes. If she wants to ask something, no, I know my mother very well. In fact, the most interesting one is when I put up pictures on WhatsApp, Snapchat filters and all that, she will call me, remove that picture. There was a day I got tired of all that and I said,
Okay, the show is just about to kickstart. And I told you we'll be looking at managing resources. All of us here are mothers. We are actually chief executive in our homes. And we also are first ladies in our homes. And that means it's not just the title, we have our responsibilities. All right, recently we had some hike in certain departments, the fuel, the electricity, the DSTV, the all that and all that and all that. And we kept crying. We're not here to find out if it's, supposed to be or not supposed to be, but I just know that one way or the other, there must be something we can do to make it, work around it, like the Englishman would say, circumvent the situation and make it work. For instance, I have learned in my house to always manage light. In the past, I wake up, all the lights are on. Even the security lights, they're on, because I don't want to forget to switch switch them on in the night. But I have learned to know master time, 6 o'clock. Security light is off. 7 p.m. security light is on. And then within the house, when I get out from my bathroom, I'm switching off the bathroom light. And then I learned to also sit more with my children. So that way we can get to share one air conditioner, one television, and then within one room we use the lights. I don't know whether you have the same situation. And I noticed with that, my bill, my electricity consumption is actually very low. I don't know if you have the same scenario in your place.
Well, for me, it's good to be here. And for me, it's the same thing, because like 4 months ago, I would have all the lights on as well. I would have all the lights on, but recently, I've had to see myself cutting down on the amount of lights we put on. Just as you said, I wake up in the morning, I quickly switch it off. And managing resources, especially now, is not just that. It's not just, the electricity, because when one thing increases, when one or two things increase, it spills over to all of other things.
Exactly.
Food go up, everything, prices of everything goes up all at once. So basically, we just have to, desperate times, call for desperate measures. And, I think we're there, so it's how to manage it and balance it all.
When you said everything goes up, I went to the shop last weekend and I had some good money in my mind. It was good money. By the time I finished, I don't want to call the name of his shop because it really wasn't their fault. My purse was empty. And the bill they gave me, I felt something was wrong. I put all the things in the carts, the push carts, and I took the printouts, the receipt printouts, something I'd never done before. I was actually checking.
What did they miss?
Oh, did they add something I didn't
that was not there?
Is the price of one thing or the other the same price as I saw in the shelf? Because I saw my wallet empty. I thought maybe within the same shop there was robbery without my knowing. That's just to say things have gone up. But then things going up, I went home that day. I went home. I did family meeting. I did family meeting.
Yeah.
I said it's either we learn how to economize or we begin to do, instead of 3 square meals, we do 2 square meals. Or even one, after all, we're all adults. You're a family clinician, I don't know.
Okay, for me, from my own point of view, I had to tell my children. Before, normally, when you want to dish food for them, you just dish, pack, and give to them. Now, I call them to the kitchen. I add, is this enough? Is this enough? Are you okay? Because I don't want you to remain any food. No wastage.
Yeah.
That's the new principle. No wastage. If you can't, just let me. Oh, mommy, okay, reduce it a bit. I say, thank you, good. And that is how we've been coping for the past day. I say, it's very important. It's not because we want to starve you. It's because this is something that is necessary for every one of us. Not because we want to economize, but there is no need wasting. I remember going for a visitation somewhere one time, some years ago. Our guest told us, please, whatever you're going to eat today, eat well. But when you want to serve your food, serve what you can finish. And our guest happened to be a more senior person to us. Some of us went to start packing. When we finished packing those food, and we couldn't finish it, he told us, okay, we are going to be gisting. As we are gisting, your plate will be in front of you. You will be reducing it gradually until this plate is empty. And to be sincere, we all had to finish the food.
Exactly.
Wow. Because he insisted from the beginning, please, no wastage. Take only what you can finish. So this is not the time to start throwing food away. Not because we don't have, but it is a necessity.
Yes.
So I think that is how we should start adjusting.
Seriously, because I know that growing up, my mom used to tell me, I don't know which part of it the Bible has it, but she used to tell us that if you waste food, there is a sin. And I'll answer, sin against what? What kind of sin is that? Sin against, those who don't have. So I used to think maybe it was just a way of making us not to, waste food. But growing up, I think it's actually not just a sin. I think it's an insult to your resources, to people who don't have, which is why I'll still go back a little bit to the power in the house. Now, I want to believe that if it's biting us hard, we should make extra efforts.
Yeah, very important.
Beyond just managing these resources at home by conserving the power, if you don't turn off properly, there will always be something. When there is power surge, some people in their homes have 2, 3 refrigerators, some deep freezer, some this. Why would you want to leave the whole 3 on? Why don't you cook? Stock up your meals in one deep freezer. Then the other ones you can regulate. That one stays permanently on when because of the food. The other ones you can regulate. Then why do you need to probably use your hot plates every now and then, boil your water whenever you need it? We grew up with a hot water flask in our homes. I don't know if they're still there now, but I'll
They're
have to
still
go
there.
buy one.
They are still there.
So whenever you need to, in the morning you wake up, you fill up the hot water flask. So somebody needs to take tea in the afternoon. You don't need to go back to your boiler or your gas
gas,
cooker to power to get water. You just go there and get the hot water. But what we find ourselves doing today is you need a cup of water, you power the electric jug, and then you complain that the light bill is going up and up and all that. You need water for your bath, you go and power this, when you can actually do all that in the morning and keep it all day, you know. So the same goes with fuel we talk about. I was telling somebody, I said, we're all told by all the holy books to be our brother's keeper. This is the time to practice it. A lot of us live in estates. Some of us have large families. And when we go to work, probably I came from the same axis as you did, and we're meeting in the same place. How about having a discussion? Babe, since we all go to the same direction, back and forth, why don't we share this, drive? Maybe Monday, Tuesday, we go with your ride and come back with your ride. Wednesday, Thursday, we go with this person's ride. So everybody becomes a communal thing. That way we save fuel.
Very important.
Another thing is that you can actually plan, individually, aside from also wanting to help, this community living and stuff like that, which of course encourages and enhances relationships. You also want to be able to plan your time ahead, your journey ahead, because I remember those days, before I started getting a diary to write what I had to do the day before, I'll find myself probably going to Maitama. Then when I get to Wuse, I'll now remember, oh, no, there is something I ought to have done in Maitama. And then you see yourself driving back all the way because you had not finished what you had to do in Maitama. When I finish from Wuse, you go back to Maitama. But if we plan our journeys ahead of time, you have a diary, you write where you want to go, you find that you are able to at least cover 90% of your day activities in one location, thereby conserving fuel.
Exactly.
Before you go to another location and do whatever you had to do. So at the end of the day, these are also ways that you can actually make sure that cost is reduced, especially in this time.
Very important. You were talking about neighborhood kind of living, communal living. It's something that I'm sure is fast eradicating because most of us, we just suspect each other.
Exactly. We don't even
reason.
talk to our neighbors.
We don't even talk to
Hello.
our neighbors.
So that's why I didn't even want to go into that because
but it is something very important.
it's what we grew up with.
Yeah.
The good thing about my neighborhood, I just moved into a neighborhood and I still see children riding bikes and I'm happy about it.
Yes.
I see still children
Connecting with one another,
playing football. I used to live around here and I didn't see that. It was just my children because came from Lagos and stuff like that. Lagos, we all interact.
Yeah.
But Abuja is a different ball game.
Yeah.
You really interact. You
It's
really
not funny.
interact.
It's not,
You
yeah.
don't interact.
And it's not nice, yeah.
You don't interact. But the good thing is that you can try to do your bit. Like when I'm leaving my estate, what I do is when I see girls, I'm prone towards the girls, not the guys, because I'm a bit worried.
Yeah.
If I see you going to the bus stop or something, then I want to help you.
Yeah.
Then I could tell you to enter into the car and I take you to the road.
Yeah.
Those are ways that if you don't have people that you can actually interact with, you can help alleviate the sufferings of people.
So because the times are hard, and if we learn to
Be our
do
brother's
more,
keeper.
yes, we save a lot of problems. Because there are times things are happening to you. If you don't relate with people, some other person may know that you have an issue, that you do not know you have an issue. And the person won't tell you because the person will feel like, okay, she doesn't talk to anyone. But if you're open-minded, it doesn't mean that your privacy will be, intruded. And you have a way of extending a hand without letting that handshake, get to your elbow. That's the basic thing. But always be sure you know your next neighbor. It's important.
Very important.
Even for safety reasons.
Yes.
For safety reasons.
I don't, sometimes we are always afraid of even what is not existing. Yeah, sometimes we've heard stories. I think I came here, I was telling you a story.
Yes.
So some persons have heard several stories of. In fact, my mom-in-law stays in an estate. They went to that estate when this estate was just starting. Immediately, you're coming out and you're not mobile. As someone is driving out from that estate, they just pick you up without you even demanding or requesting. But now, because several persons have now missed, the estate is now large, more settled, coming out, you will be there frustrated. Even when you know that you can't even get public vehicle around that area. So now it's time for us to show some level of sympathy, some level of empathy towards one another. For us to just know that, you see, this battle you're fighting, yeah, you're mobile right now, I'm not mobile. We may need something that will connect us better than mobility. So I think this is what we should be looking broadly as humans. You understand? So that is that for one corner. And other things, I want to go to the office setting.
Yes.
You know, most of us are monthly earners. We buy and pay later. So sometimes when you really go to the market, as much as the fact that we all know that things have skyrocketed, you realize that the thing you bought 2,000 naira in the office, in the market is like 850.
That's true.
Because they say pay later, they have factored certain things into the pay later money. Some persons, it may not necessarily be applicable to all. Now you have collected things that are supposed to be like 850 naira, you're buying it for 2,000 or 2,005. So what about us now sitting down? Do I need to buy this thing right now? Am I under compulsion that I must take this handbag right now? Is this handbag in my budget? Somebody like me, I'm a spontaneous spender. Yeah,
Are you serious?
Yes, I am. But over the time and over the years, I've had to let myself be more responsible, to tell myself certain things. Hey, Ruth, do you actually need this now? If I don't need it, everybody's good. Life is for fun. We should enjoy it. Yeah. Do you understand? That is me. But over the years, it's not because, I don't want it. Sometimes I have to delay. We have to learn how to delay gratification.
Yes.
Because this handbag, I already have the black. I have the blue. And I say, red will just be good for us to go ahead. So, and at the end of the day, we buy them. We don't use them. Okay, now during the COVID, how many of us carried handbags?
Are we still wearing face mask?
At the end of the day, he's looking at you and you're looking at him. So this is time for us to start telling ourselves, is it in the, probably you have a cliche with your friends, your family member, is it in the budget? If my son wrote a letter, a note yesterday night to me. I said, Mommy, please kindly read it. His birthday is in few weeks. He had told me, Mommy, I need PS so. He wrote the amount. He's 11 years. He wrote the amount. I was wondering, where did he get the amount? He said, I need some good pairs of shoes. He wrote the amount. He said, when I finished reading, I started laughing. I said, it's good to have expectations and desire.
Exactly.
But I will think, I said, okay, I'm going to get back to you later. We'll talk about it. PS something. Is it what you need right now? Okay, if you really do need it, should it be now? So these are things everybody will have to start
Evaluation.
Evaluation is very important right now. And if you can't do it by yourself, look for people that you should be accountable to. Do you understand? My friends, sometimes I want to buy something. One of my friends, do you need it? Why do you want to buy it? Please, I don't want, so that I not start telling me I don't have enough this month. And it may okay, I actually don't need. And sometimes those people that come selling, they feel bad. No, don't be sentimental about it
At all.
because it's your money is entering. At the end of the day, you're stuck, you're stressed. You start cursing government, start cursing everybody around you. People call you, start complaining, and at the end of the day, you are the one that put yourself into
In that situation.
You
Do you
box
understand?
yourself in, you know. But still talking about the office setting,
Yeah.
I had an experience sometime, and I don't know why I stopped that. It was actually very nice, you know. We contribute money and buy in bulk and share. Bag of rice, bag of beans, you know, cartons of milk, tomatoes, stockfish, and all that.
Yeah.
For those of us who are mothers, sometimes I think I had a time when a man joined us, you know,
Very
for
important.
this thing for his wife. It was really nice because a lot of times, like you said, if you buy in bulk, it's cheaper.
Yes, it is.
But your salary or your pay can't really take you to buy that big bag. And even when you buy it, it'll take a longer time to finish. So you call one or two people who are interested and you collect the money and buy these things. You can buy a whole lot of things and begin to split. It actually helps to save costs in the offices. And
also, okay.
we have mails coming in. Let's see. We'll take one before you get to. You said, I really love your program. This is that is going on right now. Most women don't understand that it is not when you give a child plenty of food that you show love to that child. Well, that's definitely true. It's not by the quantity. There are other things. Sometimes punishment is a show of love.
And balance is everything.
Yeah.
Balance is everything. I mean, you want to look at how balanced your meal is.
Yes.
So it's not really about the quantity of meat
yeah.
that the child is
Yeah.
eating. You want your vegetables,
Quality.
you want your carbohydrates, you want
Yeah.
your protein.
Yeah.
You know, all of that is important now. At the end of the day, when the child is done with maybe a vegetable or you are now going to another protein, you find that you are full, you are balanced and full, and you are healthier.
Yeah.
So it's not about the quantity of, I mean, responding to that
Yes.
meal now,
Okay,
you know.
so I want to say something concerning what you say concerning bulk buying. You see, there are things that can be okay for A and may not be okay for B. I love the fact that sometimes we do this. It's good for some persons, but there are some group of persons that you don't know how to manage first. Because of that, your children already have learned how not to even manage. When you do bulk buying, you will see a lot of family they waste. Do you understand? So as much as we know that bulk buying is very important on one hand, because some days you don't have that
you're
1,000.
talking, I'm actually, there was time I bought the stockfish head
Yeah.
for the use, and
Yeah.
it was supposed to last me up to 6 months.
Okay, what happened?
At a point, I went back to where I packed them, and I checked. You know, they usually come, this cord, they come with ears.
The ears.
Somebody had helped me remove all the ears and ate all of it.
You just have to talk to your
Do you understand? So
family.
we have,
really.
even though we want to go for bulk buying, we have to, don't say because we have them at home, so we should waste them. Because sometimes it just comes because it's there. The day we don't have, you see all of us start shrinking, start adjusting for, because we don't. So we need to plan it. There are some other families, they don't have bulk buying because they don't even have the money to buy in bulk. They don't have group of people to contribute with them. They buy daily. And some of them even eat healthier.
Yes.
Because you see them buy the fresh okra and buy the fish. And before you know, 1,005 has prepared good concoction that is healthy. It's not about the cow head, the cow tail, everything, you mix everything. At the end of the day, the food is so rich looking at it, but it's not healthy at the long run. So these are things that I think we should start putting our heads together. Do I need bulk buying? Can I manage? Do I have the capacity to handle bulk buying? Bulk buying is good, but can I handle it? If I can't, let me do the one, if it's 2 weeks, one week, let me adjust to that. Even though it's going to give me some extra stress, little, but it is better for me because it will be more economical for me. So I think we should check.
What you're saying basically is that for every home, I mean, you're looking
Identify
at
what works
what
for
works for you. What works
What
for
works
you.
for you understand? It's good if you do that.
You know, I recall this thing you're saying making a lot of sense. I prefer bulk buying, but
I
when
prefer
it
bulk
comes
buying too.
to feeding, I don't like bulk feeding. What do I mean? I don't want you to cook soup and put in the fridge for me.
Okay.
No, I won't eat it after that day. I like my food, especially soup, as fresh as today.
It's always tastier.
You know,
But I mean,
so-
I don't mind really. I mean, if I don't have to do it daily and stuff, if I just have to
but there are
microwave
tricks
or
to
something.
it. I like cooking really.
Yeah, I love cooking.
So I like to eat my food, you know, fresh.
Same here.
So what I do is to make a lot of stock. I have found out that it actually saves me money. So I go to market once a week. I buy all the things I need for the soup, the stew, the porridge, and everything. Then I boil them
Down.
and put them in their bowls and label them in a little bit. So this is what I'm going to do for Monday. This is what I'm going to do for Tuesday. This is what I'm going to. So in the morning, I bring it out. If it's okra, the okra, if I buy 100 naira okra, I can use it for 2 days.
True.
You know, so I chop it. I bring the one I need for today. I chop it, chop the veg. You know, that same sauce that I made over the weekend, like you're warming your soup, you bring out from the fridge. I'm warming it, and I'm adding my okra, my vegetable. And I bring it down after 1 minute. It's done. It's ready. It's fresh. It's healthier. So I get what I want, and it's also cheaper for me because the children don't get to waste. You know, if you make it in bulk, they come in and just scoop anyhow they want, and then before you know it, the whole thing is finished. So maybe I'm in the office and they're wasting it there. So
But another thing is, as much as we don't want wastage, we should be able to educate our children.
Exactly. Talk to your children.
Talk to them because sometimes they understand.
They understand all
They
these
know
things.
this.
They understand.
They know the. In fact,
They
one of the days,
understand.
my son was just yapping me. Okay, I was telling him this channel. I would want you to watch this channel because it's very educational. It's good. The next thing he told me is that, okay, when I finish watching the channel, when it's time for practical, I tell you, please, mommy, I want this, this, and this. You just tell mommy right now. It's not. I don't have the money for it. So I feel bad when you do that. I say, yeah. I told myself, okay, I'm telling him watch this. When they say practical, I cannot afford it. So I had to talk to myself. Okay, I have to be more responsible. When he wants this, I should be able to do, especially when I know it's going to help him. So if we talk to our children, they understand.
They understand.
They even know when you have and when you don't have. They know. They understand the pause at home. But sometimes I don't know why we just deceive ourselves as parents that they don't understand.
Children
no, if you
They
open up,
understand,
Especially-
you know,
Okay,
conversation with your children, you'll be so much amazed
At
as
what
to
they
how
know.
much they know.
Yeah.
Including they know how to manipulate their parents.
Oh, they are good at
They
that.
know how to manipulate their parents.
great
So, and you
manipulators.
don't give them that room. I manipulated my parents actually, so I know where I'm coming from. So I try to wage that war so that it doesn't happen to me. But you were saying something.
Yes. Now, when we also look at managing resources, especially in these times, you want to also look at health, because a healthy person is the one who can even manage a resource.
Very important.
You know. So I would also advise, I mean, when you want to give out a tip right now, is to try as possible to have a first aid in the house.
Yes.
First aid box, very important in the house. You want your paracetamol. It's not every time you want to run to the hospital and incur thousands of naira to be able to treat little things. When I say little, I'm not saying things that have escalated. I'm talking about the start of it. You know, I mean, at the start of everything. You want your paracetamol in the house so that once you notice a little fever, you can put that, I mean, you can give it to either yourself or the child. You understand? You also want things like antibiotics recommended by a pharmacist, not a chemist, a pharmacist. You want your GV, gentian violet, so that little scratches, you don't see yourself always rushing out to get things like that. You want them in the house so that once you notice anything that you can contain, as at when due, you quickly give it to nip it in the bud.
Yes.
Thereby, you also save money. You know,
Nipping it in the bud, even,
Yeah.
we could actually start by, you know, eating healthy and doing healthy things. You want to save money. You don't want to go to hospital to spend money. I'm not saying that doctors will not feed. They will feed.
They will feed. They
Do
must
your
feed,
annual checks,
but
they
you-
will feed. Okay, but not at my own
must-
expense.
yes, they
Try
will
to
feed.
do healthy
living.
Feed some children. I don't know if it's just in my home. Most children don't like vegetables. Most children don't like beans. Meanwhile, these are things they actually need. And I keep saying it depends on how you negotiate with them, including how you cook it. When you're going to cook things they don't like, make it
Interesting.
quite nice. Put a lot of colors. Children like colors, just like they like toys. If I'm going to cook my beans, if it's the porridge, I'll add a little bit of fresh fish or smoked fish, carrots, spring onions, and all that. Make it a little bit colorful so they get to think they're having fun and they're actually eating. And then if it needs bargaining, you do a bit of bargain.
You do
Eat
it,
this,
very
then I give you
important.
this.
Okay, I would want to talk about the bargaining issue, but on another aspect. You see, the children, as they grow up, they should be part of the budgetary system at home.
Thank you.
Very important. I watched a documentary yesterday of a child. He loves cameras. So, and any little money that comes, he wants a new camera. So, okay, they had to do a strategy at home. Okay, you're going to handle this month's budget. So, okay, and this is what we will spend. We spend normally in a month. So if we spend like 50,000 in a month at home, you will manage it and see how inside that 50,000 we'll be able to get like 5,000 to save for you to plan towards what you want to buy, which we know is going to be good for you. I'm telling you, he had to go to the supermarket, and when he carried things that is over 5 point something thousand, he just removes it. He will take the alternative that is 2,005.
There's always a cheaper one.
There is always, and it doesn't mean because it's cheaper is worse. Do you understand? But we have a quack mindset that makes us feel it has to be expensive to be good. So he had to start doing that, and he was able to successfully,
Manage
without
his
hassle,
resources.
without hustling with his parents, quarrel, fight. He had to do that, and at the end of the day, he was able to get some dough to save for his camera. And that is one thing I think as parents we should learn how to do. As they grow up, you start teaching them
How to
manage, how to be responsible. Those are part of being responsible
Yes.
issues. So you tell them, okay, in a month in this house we spend 100,000 only on food. And 100,000 on food is huge for us, don't you think? Oh, no, I don't. Okay, let's sit down and plan it. This week, what do we want? Next week, what do we plan it together? At the end of the day, you say you give them some other reward in the process.
In the process, yes.
Say if we are able to spend 80,000 in this month,
The balance of 20.
the balance of 20,
We could use
we
it.
could share it as a family, and you see they are all game. So and it's easier.
And everybody
sometimes.
works
Everybody,
hard. You know, when I was
The
growing up,
balance
right?
of 20, I would tell them I would rather put it in your investment.
I don't know. Before
whatever
we
you
get
do
there,
with it,
they
whatever
know
you
that
do
we
with
need to say, okay, I will go to that investment.
Very
But
important.
you
You
I'll
cannot
go
in this
there.
time.
Sometimes children
You
don't believe
cannot
that
in this
mothers
time.
or fathers, put investment. They
No,
always say the mommy
you
will eat
have
our
to let
money.
them see it. You have to let them, and then give them just a chip of the iceberg. Okay, take this. This is for you. This one is going to your future.
It's planning.
It's planning.
So
You
Yes.
know.
Okay. So, growing up, I know those days when my father wanted to, threaten us, he would go and bring his pay slip and say, "This is what I earn."
good.
And when we look at it, we're like, how does this man do magic? We didn't know he had other PPs money was coming
Exactly.
from. Anyway, we'll take a break. When we come back, a lot of mails here. We'll begin to read them. Don't go away. The conversation is still on.
She cries. She cries in anguish and in pain. She bears the scourge of her grief. She toils in vain for justice and succumbs to silence. He gloats over his malady. Like a beast, he pounces with no remorse. Her cry means nothing. Her pain feeds her shame. Like an orphan, she's left to grieve in solitude. But no more will she cry in vain. Her adversaries will henceforth bear the brunt of their cruelty. Rape is evil. Rape is a plague, a pandemic of monumental consequences. We must unite and kick it out of our society.
Connect with NTA and stand against rape and rapists. This message is brought to you by the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA.
All right, it's still conversations, and we're looking at managing resources, particularly the home resources, the domestic resources, and lots of mails have been, rolling in. Let's see if we can take as much as we can, my dear. I really love you guys' topic this morning. Keep it up. You didn't write your name, but we appreciate you. Thank you. Good morning, my aunties. I'm really enjoying the show, but please, kindly talk about depression because that's what I'm passing through now. Oh, Ebuka from Enugu, please. The auntie on yellow, I will snap you. Oh, I don't know. Well, good morning, mommies in the studio. I really love the topic. I hate wasting food. I always tell my wife not to be wasting food. I am Theophilus from Eleme. I know men will enjoy this topic because we're trying to help them conserve the money in their pockets. Bring money for food, but we'll not waste it all. My name is Aminu. My nickname from school is Economizer. Most of my main course is my wife. Well, most of my main cost is my wife, not food stuff alone. Her clothes and all that. I want to know about it. All right. I love and appreciate your program. Not only enlightening, but also builds up relationship. Thank you. I'll just take one more before we continue. With the situation in the world, one must learn to manage everything. Yes, this is coming from Zainab in Zaria. Thank you very much. Let's go to, we're not looking at depression, but I know that when times are hard, depression sets in. You are a family clinician. I'd like you to speak to Ebuka.
So to be sincere, with what is happening in our economy, is going to cause certain triggers of stress, especially. And you know, stress could be as a reaction of either the information we've heard, either too much of information, or overdose of information, basically. Sometimes stress is as a result of carrying things that we know we can't even carry as individuals, especially with the hike that we've just heard. So only that news alone has caused a lot of stress for a lot of people. And we know we have the internal stress and external stress. Now, the internal stress is the one that we personally give to ourselves, either as a result of wrong mindsets, as a result of a kind of, we are fixated. So those internal stress are lifestyles, are part of internal stress. External stress are those ones that are environmentally, social interaction, it could cause external stress. So, and these are things that are affecting us right now. So if we're even talking about managing resources, one thing that we need to learn how to manage is our emotions. We need to learn how to manage our mind. The news has already gone ahead. And now we now have to start doing certain ABC. And the A is we should be aware. There should be this awareness that right now, this is what has happened. This has increased. This has increased. So let us start putting that. So as it has increased, how am I feeling? Start exploring and writing down your emotion. Okay, now you now go to B. The B part is the balance. What can I do to help me right now? And that is what we were talking about. The C part of it is about control. What can I control and what can I not control? So now, some of us, we want to control everything. And it's in the bit of controlling everything, we get depressed. In the bit of controlling everything, we get anxious. In the bit of controlling everything, we get angered. In the bit of controlling everything, we get ourselves worn out. The tear and wear of the mind happens because we want to control everything. There are certain things of necessity that we cannot control. But the ones we can, we shall deliberately. Now, that man that was talking about the wife, there are some men, they are spendthrift too. So this is not about the woman. There are some men, they will wear their gold, their everything. You see them. And when they want to go for manicure and pedicure, you'll be surprised. They go to the best place. Do you understand? So
the wife will go to the roadside salon.
Do you understand?
The husband will go to transport to do
so some people go to big salons to do this. Now, sometimes you don't have that resources. I'm not saying don't do your pedicure or manicure, but you could do it in a lower place that you can still get what you want. If before you're doing it for 10,000, there is somewhere you can do it for 5,000. There is somewhere you can do it for 3,000. The only thing is that let the place be hygienic enough for you to be able to cope. So some of us, we love changing. We cannot wear a cloth in 1 year. May we have one, that year you will not see it on our body. Some of us will live the celebrity kind of life. And that is why you see some of them get so anxious and depressed in the process. Because there is something you want to show off. And that is as a result of an internal issue, which is insecurity. You're so insecure in yourself that you need to show to be somebody. You don't have it. Your monthly salary is probably 70,000. And you're living a 300,000 lifestyle. So at the end of the day, you're already depressed. So at the end of the day, we are there pushing. Now, if you don't leave yourself within your level, when depression sets in, let me tell you, it is not cheap.
It's not cheap.
It is not cheap to manage it because you have to be seeing a counselor, you have to be seeing a therapist. If it goes more, you go to see a psychiatrist.
That's why I said health is wealth.
Yeah, very important.
It's very important.
Very
we
important.
must get our health right.
Right.
Because the health is the wellness of the body, wellness of the mind.
Yeah.
Now, the things that you cannot control, how do you control it? look for an alternative source of income.
Yeah,
That's
very
another.
important.
Look for an alternative source of income. Right now, I don't see how a one salary earner, I mean, someone who just earns
One stream
of income can work in today's Nigeria, especially if you have children. Maybe if you didn't have children, fine.
Even though you don't have children.
Well, at least you could manage. But if you have children, you are thinking about school fees, you are thinking about so many other things, satisfying
I sincerely
them.
think if you don't have children and you don't have anybody you're taking care of, I mean, other responsibilities, it could be extended family. If you tell me you don't have, then I'll show you the face of a very selfish person.
Exactly.
Every human being has somebody
You
you're
have
taking care of.
somebody.
Yeah.
But if you don't have a direct dependent, I mean, if you don't have...
Get one.
Get one. Get one, yes.
Get
but
one.
you're able to
There are people
manage
that need
yourself
help.
even better. If you have people who depend on you, you have parents, and we all have parents. We all have siblings. We all have, those that we want to reach out to. Even the orphanages. You want to reach out to as many people as you can. We cannot afford to have just one stream of income in these times.
To be
you
sincere,
must find something else to do.
That point is very important and very striking. It helps a lot.
You must. It could be a passive income.
Yeah.
What is a passive income? I'm in the office right now.
Yeah.
My car is outside.
Yeah.
Somebody else has taken my car out
To go for Uber.
to go for Uber. He gets his own money. I'm able to impact his family. I'm able to impact
Very
his life,
important.
and I also get my own.
There are other ways
you know?
can. For me, it's not earning money.
No, that's just one.
No, I know. There are other ways. You may not earn money, but you save money. What do I mean? Aminu, I think his name is Aminu. Yes, Aminu says his wife spends money on clothes, and it's an issue for him. It's not just food. Now, if I love clothes, but I don't need to, make it every day. What do I mean? I can make a gown, maybe monocolor, like blue, like black, like yellow, like anything. And I wear it at different times with different accessories.
Yeah.
Today I'm using a yellow shawl. Tomorrow I could wear this same thing, but I'll use a red accessory. At the end of the day, it gives me another look, and I feel like I'm fresh. Women should learn to spice up all that. Then you can also learn a trade. If you like jewelries, you can begin to learn to make jewelries yourself. That way, you can pick your old jewelry. If it was all yellow, you can pick all yellow, pick all green, then take a bit of the green, take a bit of the yellow, restring it, and then it becomes a new set of jewelry for you. And you look fresh. Instead of going to buy a new one, you have revamped what you have. The same thing with the wigs. You can do the same for even your children. The hair tie, the scarf can be one form of clothes or the other tomorrow for your children. You may not necessarily, there are some you can pin on a cloth. It gives it a new look. That way, you save money. And what I tell people, I really don't think there's something you will do that the whole world will stop suddenly. Nothing. So don't go kill yourself.
I'm telling you,
Don't
don't kill yourself.
live above your means.
Yeah, I think before they say sew your clothes according to your
Size.
Now according to your material. Now it's according to your material.
It's according to material.
If you are a size 22, you don't have material of size 22. If you were supposed to do a gown, probably do a bomb shot for yourself. You understand?
And wear it where?
And anyhow you want to wear it, there's always a way to wear it.
Anyway, some people are still writing. He said, "Good morning, Maz. My name is Mrs. P. Please, in managing resources, what happens when it is the father that wastes the food and does not bother about family upkeep?" That's for you. Lola, you will take it later. Let's read more. Good morning, madam. Nice program. It's very educative for the family to plan very well with their income. Alex Condi from Warri. You may want to speak on the fathers that waste food.
You just have to be the one to serve him. Try and be there, and if you're not there, put it in a flask for him. Put it in a flask for him. You know what? You don't want to shortchange him because it could be that he eats a lot. But if you've lived with a man for a while, okay, this is the amount that he eats and stuff like that. So you want to keep his own separately. Put it in a nice flask. Let him be happy seeing it, so that at the end of the day, he doesn't have to go to your pot and take out the best meat. Just make sure that his own meat is good in that place. That's the only thing I can say.
You can still add more for him. For instance, if a man likes to eat a whole lot,
then you prepare more for him.
If I'm going to give you rice, if I'm going to give you rice, maybe fried rice, I'll give you the quantity I know that will be okay, but also I'm aware that you will not be satisfied. So understand, I'm going to give you garden egg.
And carrots.
Before I even give you that food, I'll delay it. Like, I'll
a
use
vegetable
all
to fill your stomach.
I said,
take
darling,
groundnuts,
just
take
eat this
this,
groundnut and garden egg
take
while waiting
that.
for the food to be ready. Meanwhile, it was actually to fill your stomach 50% with raw
There's always
fish.
a way out.
So I think you should adopt that. And so we have more messages coming. He said, good morning. Today's conversation is very interesting. I can manage, but my mom cannot manage. She's too expensive. She's a costly woman. And it says, from Joy in Day. I don't know.
When mummies are expensive.
Mummies are expensive.
Okay, now, you see, lifestyle is very important. And for some persons, it's lifestyle that gives them stress. Okay, I must be prime and proper always. I must wear so level of clothing. I must be this, I must be that. So at the end of the day, your lifestyle begin to affect certain things you start doing. So if mommy is an expensive mommy, if you have spoken to mommy, there is little or nothing you can do for mommy. Because mommy is a full-blown adult. Mommy, this is how mommy has been. So what you can do, do it. Because you see, despite the fact that we are saying we should manage resources, there are certain persons in the house, either the mommy or the daddy, that may sabotage all our efforts. So don't now start concentrating on who is wasting. Because the minute you start saying mommy is wasting, daddy is wasting, my husband, at the end it saps your energy. And before you know, you're already stressed again.
Exactly.
The ones you can, that is why I was talking about control. What you can control it. What you cannot control, just sometimes you close your eyes. It's the children we know to an extent we could help to manage and control. But adults, you can.
They are full blown.
They are full blown.
What you just do for me, if I have that kind of a mother,
Yeah.
I will reduce exposure of my mom to things that she can easily waste.
We don't know the setting.
I don't know the setting.
We don't know the
actually,
setting. We don't know what this person means, because if we are talking,
They could be living together.
They could be living together, and she's the one working. Because
So
if
I
mommy is
will
the
not
one
be
working,
buying in
bringing,
bulk.
if the mommy is the one working, bringing the money, I'm not sure she may want to be complaining. So we don't know the scenario. Probably if we have a better picture of it, we know what the best advice that fits mommy for mom. You understand? But generally, what you can control, what you cannot control. Or else you now start stressing yourself, you're now unhealthy, you now start taking medication. You're removing money. And if you don't stop in medication, you will still see. And a session for a therapist, very important. The money's there.
All right, so still talking about wastage. I often see in the homes, maybe in the morning, some people throw away food because it's overnight or it's gone bad.
Yeah.
I think that's absolutely wrong. It's absolutely wrong. Overnight food, even if you don't like, I said I don't like overnight food, but I could revamp that food. Let me still give example. I like okra a lot.
I can see so. Second time mention.
Yes, I like okra a lot. So I get my okra, and then
Again.
it's overnight. A little is left. Instead of me to throw it away because I can't eat it, what I'll do is to get a little fresh okra, chop it again and top it. Then add a little bit more of spices. At the end of the day, it's the fresh one will always dominate the old one once it's not stale. So that way I get to still eat what I want and still eat safe. I think we should learn. It goes not just for okra, it goes for rice, it goes for everything. If your rice is overnight and you don't like it,
turn it to fried rice.
if it's
turn it to jollof rice.
So if it's white rice, you can
There's
always
always
make
a
it.
way.
But the
There's
basic
always a
thing is we
way.
should remember that we must not waste. Going back to power, we buy fuel for not just the car, we buy fuel for the generator. The question I ask is, when there is no light from public power supply, some people turn on their generator just to watch TV. And these are children, school children. What's wrong with going to read book at that point?
Exactly. It's a good opportunity
What's that?
to use that time
Because
when there is no
You see, for me, I think if we plan our lives, it's not only when there is power failure that we must read.
Yes.
So that they don't start getting
No,
scared.
exactly. Exactly. No, they should read every day. But also, if, I mean, you cannot, you know, children are, you can, there's just a limit to how much you can regiment their lifestyle.
Yeah.
Because they are free.
Yeah.
You understand? So, like, in my own house, I would like that my children wake up in the morning and read every morning. But there are some mornings that they don't. I mean, since this lockdown, there are some mornings that they don't. They get to play and everything. So when they take light, I say, okay, now children, you didn't read this morning. No, you're going to read or something.
Simple.
Exactly.
So that way we
You
save
have to-
we
yeah,
save
you
the
don't have to-
generators.
Exactly. And then you can now decide, okay, if I used to use generator for 8 hours a day, how can I use generator for 4 hours a day?
You borrow sense.
Exactly.
Borrow sense.
You understand?
Borrow sense.
How can I use generator for 4 hours? What times are the most important for me in my home with my family to be able to enjoy that generator that I'm using 4 hours in that day?
Yeah. And you see right now the weather has changed. It's even cooler. So before now, when the sun is hot and scorching,
couldn't afford not
cannot,
to. But
so now weather has changed. It's not calm. So when there is no light that period, if you don't have anything that is of urgency or pressing,
And
you could just
you
hold
know,
on for a
finally,
while.
if you power that generator, I insist, when you're powering your generator, open your deep freezer, your refrigerator less. So that way, it gets cold,
That's
it
if
gets
your generator
frozen,
can
you
carry
know,
your freezer.
faster. That way, your food inside, when you turn off, can still last a long time. So, but you find, especially for homes with children, they get to the fridge every 5 minutes. As you open and close, you remove the frost in it, and it's not good. Of course, our time is packed, and we may not be able to take any more mails. But Alex Osaji, Alex, you wrote earlier on your name is Kondi, but now you say it's Osaji. We thank you for correcting your name, and we hope that you've been able to pick a whole lot. Thank you, our family clinician, for coming, and that's Ruth. And thank you, Lola, for coming as well. This is where we draw the curtains on the show. Mind you, NTA is still on, and more programs coming your way. And my name is Elizabeth.
Thank
Be
you.
good citizens and save your money.
Yeah, thank you. Bye.